Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the Veloce Squadsprint series here today, and this is going to be round 3 of the season. And if you guys missed round 1 at Brazil, go watch the video guys by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of your screen right now. And there is no round 2 because I wasn't able to attend the race at USA, so that video won't be on my channel because I wasn't there in the first place. So we skip on to round 3 at the Red Bull Ring, and after a pretty okay first race at Brazil, you know, we did crash out, we didn't finish, but there was good pace, and I feel encouraged by what I saw, and I think I can do better around here, and I want to try and get a semi-clean race in if possible. So, you know, that's why I'm saying it was okay in the first race, even though we only lasted 5 laps. I had really strong pace, and I want to have a chance to show that here today. But first of all, let's look at the grid here at Austria with Cem Bassi on pole. Then we've got Camille in P2, myself in 3rd, Ryan Littlemore in P4. Then on to row 3, we do have Isaac in P5 ahead of Niran in P6. Then further down we have my teammate Raggy in 7th ahead of Tom, Storm Lartelo in P8. Then it's Arav in 9th with Eterno Joe rounding out the top 10 here today for Racing Point. Then it's Hayden Gullis, his teammate in P11 with Summer Vigang in P12. Then we've got Timot Marduk in 13th with Alex Gillon in P14, very competitive 7th row there with Johnny Otmir in P15, and then Danny Berezne P16, and then at the back of the grid we have Veloce James and Veloce Hypers in 18th, and that is your grid for the race here today at Austrian. Quite a full grid, the biggest one so far in the series, and yeah, overall I won this race in season 1, albeit it was a 5-lap race, but still this was the only race I won in season 1. So starting from 3rd place, I've got high expectations, and hopefully I can try and perform and get some redemption for that first race and try and get some points on the board. So here we go, the 5 lights are coming on for the start of the race here at Austria, and it's lights out and away we go. And Camille or Kaki in the Williams is lagging quite a bit here, and we do get a decent start. Cem Bassi in P1, he is an Esports driver, but he is on the pad because his wheel is currently broken, so I'll let you know of that straight away off the bat. But currently, through turn 1, we do hold on to our 3rd place as we now make our way up towards turn number 3. And again, Kaki lagging, so it's kind of hard to judge where he is. We go kind of into him as he ghosts a little bit through there, but there's been contact behind us. I believe Arav had a bit of an incident, and it's actually going to trigger the safety car here in this race straight off the bat, a very early safety car. And as we move on towards the end of the lap, you can see here a lot of cars boxed, and I had a discussion with my teammate Raggy about this, and most cars pitted. I decided to stay out because I felt like, because I'm on the soft tyres, if I can get past Camille and Cem, who are in 1st and 2nd place, I can try and use the clean air out front to really try and establish a lead and open up a gap. So here we are then getting ready for the safety car restart, and I'm going to try and make light work of both of these guys and try and progress. So here we go, restart on the way. We don't get the best getaway, but we do turn the engine up and actually recover quite nicely at the final corner, getting a nice tow off of Cem onto the pit straight as we make our way into turn number 1. The Red Bull driver running it a bit hot, missing his apex and running wide on the exit. That's going to give me an opportunity here to get nice and close on the exit, get in the slipstream, and we are going to pull to the right hand side here, making our way up towards turn through and then to turn number 3. Easy there, a little bit of contact on entry, but we just about take it on the inside line. Cem turns in, a little bit of contact there, he loses an end plate on the back of the Williams, and we move up into 2nd place, making progress there as we get a warning for a collision, double checking our front wing to make sure there's no damage. But now we've got to try and get past Kaki, who was lagging like we saw before. This time seems to be a little bit more stable as he runs a bit wide now through the final corner. That's going to give me an opening and another opportunity to try and make a move here. We're going to get to the slipstream, pull to the inside, and we're going to try and make this move as we set a purple lap and progress up into the lead of the race. Veloce Formula Danny behind us, making very good progress in the Alfa Romeo, and he also sets a purple lap, improving on my lap there. But crucially, we hit the front, and now it's all about trying to maintain race pace and see if we can try and extend the lead. Meanwhile, you can see on the top left, Danny now up to 3rd place, and he's the man to beat. He is absolutely rapid. Last season's defending champion as DRS is now enabled, and we set a purple final sector and a new fastest lap. So the pace is looking pretty good. Obviously, Danny, though, is still there. Meanwhile, in terms of strategy, you can see the team telling me what to do. I'm still kind of debating as to what I'm thinking of. In principle, my idea for strategy around here is trying to go as long as possible on the soft tyres as Danny gets up into 2nd place, overtaking Cem. So he's going to be in hot pursuit of us, trying to hunt us down. As we go on to lap number 7, I set personal best with the purple final sector once again, but Danny smashes it out of the water, and he was just so fast around here, like literally he had alien pace. And I tried my best. You can see now onto lap number 8, we actually make a bit of a mistake through turn 1, get a bit loose. The rear tyres starting to fade a little bit on these now because we've been on these since the start of the race, and that's going to give Danny all the invitation he needs to make a move and overtake us for the lead of the race. And there you go, a pretty easy overtake for him. And I don't really fight too much because ultimately he has much better pace than me, and I'm more keen on trying to keep up with the DRS and trying to hang on to the DRS as long as I possibly can. And I actually did a pretty good job of hanging on. This is where the race got interesting because I thought Danny and Hypers didn't pit. I thought they stayed out, and they benefited from the safety car and all the cars pitting. So my plan in theory was to stay out and basically follow Hypers and Danny's strategy, and I was hoping they would pit later on in the race and I would pit with them. Unfortunately, I got caught out. It turns out I didn't know at the time, but Hypers and Danny actually pit on lap 1 under the safety car. So yeah, I was staying out pretty much for no reason really. Having said that, I was really proud of myself. The pace was good. I managed to keep Hypers behind him for a good few laps here as we lap one of the racing points, who unfortunately disconnected. And you see Hypers now, he's in the back of us here, he has got DRS and he's in the slipstream. He's going to look on the inside, but there is a bit of lag going on both of our perspectives, and he doesn't quite commit to the move into turn 1, so we hold on for a bit longer, but he's again really close. He's had a good exit, and my tyres are really struggling at this point. And here comes Hypers once again. I'm going to defend a little bit to the inside, but he's still going to go for the move. We're going to try and go the long way around here into turn 3, but Hypers gives us the squeeze, and we have to just let that one go. Instead, I'm going to focus on getting a clean exit and again trying to hold on to the DRS as long as I can. And I actually did a good job. I was much more similarly matched for pace with Hypers compared to Danny. Danny was just too quick here today, but I was actually able to keep up with Hypers even on these worn tyres and stay within his DRS all the way onto lap 16. You can see here I've still got DRS, and we're running a decent pace, but we have to stop because the regulations say that you have to do at least one stop and run a different compound. And I waited as long as I possibly could, to see Hypers and Danny pit, but of course I didn't know they already had. So this is when it kind of hit me that, okay, these guys have already done the pit stop, so I have to stop. I get incredibly sideways on the entrance there. I just about catch the rear end. Nice little bit of sliding going on as we now make our way into the pit lane. And we are going to box for the medium tyres, so let's see where we rejoin, and hopefully we can still score some good points. Nice quick stop from the boys, hopefully, as we get released. 2.6, not too bad, as there goes Simon Weigang. Then here goes Veloce Storm and also Veloce James, who are pretty close running in tandem there, both of the Haas cars. And then Alex Gillon also is going to drive by in the Red Bull. And I almost messed it up here. I got it so wrong under braking. I almost hit the wall, just completely misjudged the cold tyres, and I almost hit my front wing and lost it. But luckily we do rejoin in 8th place. There's Alex Gillon up the road. He's on used soft tyres, and we're going to try and hunt him down. So here we go, onto the last lap. We're going to stay on board for the entirety of this lap to see if I can catch Alex Gillon in the Red Bull. And we don't have DRS, unfortunately, on any of the first 2 straights, which I was really hoping for. So we're going to have to try and make this move somehow on this lap if we do find the time. I can really see Alex is struggling massively on tyres, and of course I've got these nice fresh boots on, so we're gaining massively here. You can see how much we gain into turn 3. This time we do have DRS, and we are going to put Alex under a bit of pressure into the brakes, and I was never going to quite go for the move, but just enough to kind of make him go defensive and think about it. And you can see he's also saving energy because his lights are flashing. So here we go, this is my chance. I'm going to try and look on the inside, but we don't quite get alongside or close enough. But the grip that I've got on these, I've just got so much momentum, and we go to the outside. Alex gives me just about enough room. Obviously I'm off the track limits, but I couldn't really go anywhere else, and we squeeze around the outside and make a phenomenal overtake for 7th place. Alex trying to come back on the inside into the penultimate corner, but I have too much grip and I just run it nice and deep on the brakes, and we take P7 in emphatic fashion. And what a fantastic move around the outside. You can argue track limits were not really respected, but having said that, having seen what happened in this race, a lot of drivers didn't really respect the limits of the track, so I was being more than fair by doing that. And also I think Alex didn't mind the overtake too much. I spoke to him after the race and he was quite fine with it. But there we have the final race results, and Danny and Hypers make it a 1-2. Very strong performance from both of those guys. Jan Otmir, P3, running up the podium for Renault, with Simon Weigang in P4, so a double points finish there for the Renault team. James Baldwin ahead of Veloce Storm, and again both Haas drivers, good points for them in P5 and P6. We come home P7 ahead of Alex Gillon, with my teammate Raggy in 9th place. So again, double points finish for both of the Mercedes cars, with Chen Bolak-Bassi scoring a point on the controller in the Red Bull. So fair play to him, and a good performance from him here today in his debut race. In terms of those outside the top 10, we have Niran in P11 as one of the FIFA guys, of course, in the McLaren, also on the pad ahead of Hayden Gullis in P12. Ben in 13th in the Ferrari, a pretty poor race for him, ahead of Karki, who finished in 14th. Ryan 15th, and then Isaac in 16th, with Arav 17th and last of the classified runners. And Ferrari having an absolute just terrible terrible day here today compared to the last race in USA where they really scored a lot of points. Today's race wasn't the day for them, with Joe the only retirement of the Grand Prix here today in the Racing Point, with Cheryl Limitless and Visa not turning up to the race here today. But in terms of the championship standings, after 3 rounds in this championship season of 12 rounds overall, Danny Bergevin leads by 2 points over Hypers, so those two are going to be neck and neck all season long, and you can just tell already because they're similarly matched in terms of pace. Jan Otmir is equal on points in 3rd place with James Baldwin, 40 points apiece there, with Simon Vigang P5. Alex Gillon is in 6th place for the Red Bull team with Ben in P7. Storm is in 8th with Hayden Gullis in P9 and Joe holding on to 10th place there. So the Racing Point is just about hanging on to the top half of the table. And those were my first points of the season. That does mean we move up to 13th place. We are still behind Arif, who's in 11th, and my teammate Raggy, who's in P12 with 7 points, 1 point more than myself. Then we've got Niren in 14th as the first of the FIFA guys. And actually, to be fair, credit to him, 4 points is very impressive for a guy that doesn't play F1 and is on a controller. He's ahead of Isaac, who are equal on points, but based off of race results, gets the position benefit. And then Chem with his first point here today, up to 16th place. Visa still on 0 points, as is Karki, Ryan at 83, and also Till Limitless, who is yet to race in this series, but I believe he will make his debut in the Belgian Grand Prix. But in terms of the constructor standings after that race, you can see Renault looking very strong. Jan Otmir and Simon Vigang 67 points each, and a very competitive duo. Haas in 2nd place with Storm and James bringing home the points, and then Alfa Romeo really impressive. Danny 51 points all by himself, and Cheryl Limitless hasn't even done a lap yet, so once he arrives it's going to be a very strong team to beat. Then we've got Toro Rosso P4 of Hypers carrying the team at the minute. Ryan yet to score a point, but hopefully he can score one soon. Ferrari with Ben and Arif there in P5 ahead of Red Bull, who are 3 points behind, with Alex Gillon there driving the team forward. Hayden Gullis and Joe for Racing Point in 7th ahead of us, with myself and Raggy there in 8th place. But McLaren and Williams ran out the points here today. But guys, that is going to be it for round number 3 of Squad Sprint here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new, and I'll be back with more league racing content very soon, guys. But that is going to be it from me here today for Squad Sprint, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. But until then, guys, that is going to be it from me, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.